is there another agenda at play?
All right. Bab, 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 ladies and gents. Ladies and gents and everything in between. Welcome back to the channel. And of course to the Friday night live stream, trading as Aid Thompson and other disappointments. Guys, people, listeners, viewers, people of the Booge, welcome back to the podcast. I suppose I should promote it a little bit. It's also available. If you don't catch it on Friday night, it does eventually bleed out onto Spotify, Apple, YouTube. You can catch up, or you can watch clips of it on the Clips channel. All of the usual places is where we end up. Do make sure that you are liked and subscribing and all of that stuff. Leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. Make sure that you've shared or sent a link for something that I've done off to your family WhatsApp. Make sure you share me around to your close friends and relatives. Partly to fuel my shameless capitalist pursuit for growth, but partly at my my latest fruitless endeavour to try and de-radicalise your granddad. How are we all doing? Are we good? Are we happy? What's going on? Have we all survived another week of societal deterioration? A domestic political somersault into anarchy, as indeed it's been the last few days. Our communal British relapse into racism. The unstoppable rise of right-wing fascism that we've all been enjoying or enduring here in the formerly United Kingdom, guys. Hopefully we are all surviving this glacial, slow-mo collapse, as I am, with a daiquiri in one hand and Apocalypse Edition rifle in the other. What's new, though? What is the happy haps? What should we talk about tonight? I did a mini far-right watch video yesterday. I don't know if you saw that. It was about the sort of Belfast stuff, the right-wing media reaction to it. So I don't want to spend the whole episode now tonight talking about the same topic, but I will just say this. Even in these wild and unpredictable times, I don't think any of us expected to see British flag wavers telling the Irish to defend their country from an illegal invasion. I did not expect that. I wasn't expecting that plot twist there. I don't think any of us saw that coming. Guys, all of these British guys, British lads ready for a fight, shouting across to Ireland like, yeah, protect your lad from invading forces. The Irish are like, uh-huh. If you say so. I mean, they've got a lot in common. Even despite the, the flag waving and apparent hatred of foreigners that they both enjoy, whether it's the IRA or Unionists or Lucy Connolly or the Britain First Brigade. The other thing that they've got in common is that none of them can keep it limp for a hotel on fire, can they? But no, instead, on this episode, instead of going further and deeper, darker into that ugliness, if you'll indulge me, permit me for the next 45 minutes or so to drag your minimalist attention spans, kicking and screaming, over to some other disappointments. Maybe we'll touch back on that stuff in a bit. But yeah, some other disappointments, some other veritable lowlights from the past 7 days. So away from Ireland, away from Europe, I should say hello to everybody in the chat, really, shouldn't I? Hey, what's up to Tommy? What's up to Mighty Diz, moderating the chat for us? What's up, Diz? How you doing? Fëanor's Jewel is back. Jock Git is in the chat as well. Witchy Goth, how you doing? Richard's in. Tom Jones is in. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. But, right, what was I going to talk about? Oh, yes, okay, so, away from Ireland, away from Europe, even away from America, Ghana just criminalised, I don't know if you saw this is earlier in the week, Ghana have just criminalised identifying as gay or transgender in Ghana. So that's fun. That's a new development. That's progress, is it? In Ghana. Things are getting better in the world. In our, you might get a little problem here or a little challenge there. But broadly speaking, the march is towards progressivism and equality aid. Is it? Okay. So yeah, Ghana have just criminalised identifying as gay or transgender. And I can't help but note that over here in Britain, we're actually in Gay Pride Month right now, aren't we? So it's a bit like the sort of, the legislators from Ghana saw that. They saw the partying. They saw the buses and the rainbows and the happiness and the freedom. And they were like, no. Not here. We've got to do something. They thought to themselves. This takes priority over all of the other legislating and shit. Reform, obviously taking their cues from Ghana over the last few days. They're saying, well, maybe we could do something similar here. Maybe we should take our flags down, the rainbow flags. Maybe we'll ban them. Can we take the flags down a bit? Reform have been saying. So yeah, rainbow flag ban announced in several reform councils over the last few days. This is from the same people that only 6 months ago were shrugging and saying, what's wrong with the flag though? Why does a flag offend you so much, you bloody lefty? So yes, Reform and Ghana trying to shut down the gays to varying degrees. But that's the only thing, or pretty much the only thing, that the leadership of Reform and of Ghana have in common. I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys that. There's very little else, I think, that those two share in common. David Bull isn't welcome in either. I mean, I know it's a serious thing, obviously, all of this stuff, that they've criminalised it over there. Criminalised homosexuality they have in Ghana. I know that it's bad, it's deadly sometimes, it's gross, it makes life harder for gays, both in Ghana but also externally, people who might want to travel there or have friends and family there. And it's very, very difficult for people who are homosexual and have a connection to Ghana. But do you think that British gay people are ever tempted to book a holiday in Ghana just for a week, just to make it dangerous again? Do you think that's ever tempting? Because it's kind of like, if you've got gay marriage here and you get gay married and it's accepted, nobody really bats an eye, aside from a few, swivel-eyed loons in the Reform Party and UKIP. Nobody really cares too much if you're gay anymore, I don't think. Do you think there's like British gay couples who are like, let's make it exciting again? Let's book a holiday in Ghana. Let's make it dangerous. It's forbidden here. It's like a sort of extreme sports getaway, maybe. I don't know. Like, I hope we don't get caught. Do you think that happens? Risky behaviours, reckless sexuality. It could happen, couldn't it? I wouldn't rule it out. Any gays in the chat tonight, guys? I have to come to, is that a super chat? Just sort of drop in. I'll grab one. I'll take 5 in a minute and we'll go through some of the super chats. But yeah, I really feel like, gay marriage probably seemed like a win in the Western world until the marriage turned out to be just as boring as everybody else's, and now you're craving some sort of fucked up, role play, date night, extreme sports holiday like that. I mean, like, why not really roll the dice and fly down there on Jet 2? What else has happened this week? Over the last few days, guys, Trump threatened to bomb Iran out of existence. Cheers, by the way. Not to that. Not to, ending the world. I'm just saying happy Friday and all that. Donald Trump, President of the United States and global peacemaker, recipient of the, the FIFA fucking Peace Prize. Sorry. Threatened to bomb Iran out of existence and then rode back and said that they were making a deal, so he didn't do the strike. And then Iran have said, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't trust him. He's talking shit. And so now we don't really know what's happening with the ceasefire and whether the war is over or not. And oh wait, hang on a second. Wait, no, hang on. No, that was old news. That bit. That was from. I'm just checking the date. That was from the 2nd of April, 2026. Was when that bit was. Although luckily it is precisely what happened then again on the 5th of May and then again this week now here on the 12th of June. So magically it's still topical. Meanwhile, over in Israel, or over in the West Bank, more specifically, the UN, the United Nations, released a report this week, detailing a 130% increase in violence against Palestinians by Israeli settlers. And some of the stuff being reported is pretty grim, guys. There's threats of sexual violence if you don't leave, if you don't pack your stuff up and leave. Severe violations of human rights. Land getting annexed. Keep it light, aid. People getting displaced in areas that Israel was told not just to stop building new settlements in back in 2021, but to abandon the ones that they've illegally started construction of. But they haven't. They're still going. They're still removing people from their homes. And people have stood outside with the deeds, like the paper deeds to the problem. They don't give a shit. Ignoring their land deed documents. Bulldozing the sites and building their own new condos and villas and blocks of flats and shit. And I mean, say what you like about Israel. But I bet they've got no housing crisis, guys. I think that's a safe bet. Even on Polymarket, you could get good odds on that. Because they build, don't they? Christ, do they build? Netanyahu and co. They don't let a pesky thing like red tape get in their way. They're like, oh, what's that? Is that green belt land? Is it? Well, I'm a black belt in international fucking war crimes and shit. Get out. Probably no housing crisis, I would venture, over in Israel is all I'm saying, unless you're a Palestinian, in which case housing probably an issue, it sounds like. But it kind of gets you thinking, doesn't it? Kind of populates the thoughts up in the old mind grapes. Like the housing crisis here is so fucking endemic now. And Labour are so unpopular. I actually think that one of the best ways they could turn it around is if they said they were going to run a similarly like state-funded development project. You know? Get their Netanyahu on, almost. Just be a picture of like Keir Starmer stood outside a block of condos in Woking. Happy British people behind him, smiling, holding the keys. And the tagline would be something like, stick with Labour, stick with us, stick with Labour. We're going to build like Benji. Hashtag build like Benji. Or Bibi, or whatever the fuck. You know? Fuck your post-war house building. We're going to build like it's a war crime. Vote Labour. Build like Bibi. I think it could work. I think in the absence of any good PR, maybe that's an option, Kit. I'm available to be a 6-figure strategist if you need me. Well, the people in the live chat saying this evening. Adastra Recording says, careful, Aid, you're veering towards noticing. Fainuz Jewel says, don't start the lock-in without me. Fainuz is off for a bit. Is she? Okay. She? He? Sorry, I've never established which gender. I don't want a gender or misgender here. That's not what we're about. Gareth is in the chat. He says, there's a seminar type thing coming up, specifically selling Palestinian land to rich British Jews. It's abhorrent. Some of the stuff I've been reading the last week has been absolutely disgusting, bewildering. The things like the threats that they're making towards Palestinian families, like what will happen to you and your, say, daughter if you don't leave, is fucking like, what? That's real. That's actually happening. Fainals drops a £5 super chat in saying, let's make it rain. Thank you very much, Fainals. And also a reform and restore, and all of their supporters are restarted. Is that a typo? Is that a sort of autocorrect issue there? Is it? Reform and restore, and all their supporters are restarted. Oh, okay. You sort of need to read between the lines there, but I think we get your point. What was I talking about? Oh, yes, build like Benji. Build like Benji, guys. The new Labour housing crisis campaign. I think it could be a winner. It wouldn't even be their worst campaign. It wouldn't be their worst PR strategy. Certainly no worse than Island of Strangers, anyway. Do you think anybody would go to Israel for a dangerous gay getaway? Like with Ghana? No. Probably not, I guess, It's quite gay friendly, I believe, in Israel, by all accounts. Although they don't have gay marriage there. Did you know that? So if you needed, like, a warm-up act on your way to the extreme sports gay danger getaway thing, a warm-up act in your break from the monotony of your marriage, on your way to Ghana's outright criminalisation, Like if you were doing a world tour of progressively shit places to be gay in as a person, you could start off with a flight to Tel Aviv, where they don't have gay marriage. And then you could globe-trot to Ghana for the full-blown criminalisation. The danger, the excitement. And then where would you go finally? Where would be like the headliner place? Really excitingly dangerous to be gay in. You start off in Tel Aviv, you go off to Ghana, finally you get to where? Finally maybe you climax with a weekend of, like in Saudi Arabia would be a good one, wouldn't it? Get the real feeling of danger back, I think. In Ghana, you get jailed for it. In Saudi Arabia, you'd be like, well, this ain't a jail cell now, is it? You're not in Ghana anymore. This is Saudi Arabia, son. Where multiple men were executed as recently as 2022 for the crimes of indecency and sodomy. Hell of a party. Which I know sounds bad. Multiple men getting executed as recently as 2022, ostensibly just for being gay. I know that sounds bad and scary and maddening to hear. That's still an execution offence out there in this day and age. But that's why they have the Riyadh Comedy Festival, guys. That's That's why they have to lighten the mood a little bit. Don't worry about the butchering of journalists, the lashings and hangings of homosexuals, guys. Bill Burr and Jimmy Carr are here to tell you how too far you and your silly social justice are these days. You're so bloody woke. Somebody else has just dropped a super chat. Who is it this time? Paul Webster has dropped a £10. Cheeky tip there. What's up? He says a Space Karen, brackets Elon Musk, IPO landed. Impersonation, please. Is he a person that people can actually impersonate? I don't know if he is. I'm going to have to make that a little bit more. There you go. He's got such a distinctive accent, hasn't he? He doesn't sound like, I was about to say a Safa. Can you say Safa? Is that? I feel like that used to be short for South African, but now I'm really worried. Has that become a slur? Is that derogatory now? He doesn't sound South African to me, and I like a lot of my old Irish family moved over to South Africa, so I'm sort of familiar with the accent. And obviously, I have friends who are some of my best friends are Safas. I don't think I could do an accent like my South African accent. I have to come out with a cliche and be like, "Are you all right, my bro? Are you good to come over to my place in the backy and we will put on the bra? Don't forget your 4-pack of Castle, my bro." But he doesn't sound like that, does he? He's got a much more sort of relaxed South African accent. He probably sounds like a British South African who's lived in California for a long time, like a real relaxed South African who's been to the valley, That's his vibe. He's a difficult guy to do an impression of. Sorry, Paul. And I'm not very good at impressions anyway. Have you heard my Keir Starmer? It's pretty shit, and my Trump is even worse, so I won't torture you with it. What else has been going on, guys? What else has been going on out there in Newsland? Disinformation exploded again this week. That's not going to shock any of you. Not just with people calling a documented, approved asylum seeker an undocumented invader, but with literally hundreds of images of Nigel Farage supposedly attacking Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey. I don't know if you saw this. It's all a bit bizarre. Hundreds of accounts sharing these things. Accounts that are verified. Blue ticks. Like 2 followers signed up fairly recently, and they're all sharing these AI Photoshop deepfake images of Nigel Farage and Andrew Bailey. What was happening in the images? Well, he was sort of leaping across the question time set, wasn't he? Leaping across it and attacking Andrew Bailey. And the captions on the tweets said stuff like, "Oh, they didn't have to take it this far." And you're like, "Oh, what the fuck? I'm sure I would have read about that. What is this?" And then you click on it. I clicked on one of them. I was like, I've got to see, what is this? You click on it and then you land on a fake BBC News website. Looks exactly like BBC, but I work in tech. I'm sort of reasonably au fait with how these things are done. And on the BBC News website, it takes you to a sort of crypto promotion thingy. And, you know the deal. They hook you in and they try to sell you some crypto or get you involved in crypto or something. The images, which look possibly realistic to the untrained eye, they prompted Nigel Farage himself to clarify in response to this. As journalists talking about it, other politicians going, "What on earth is this? Who is behind this campaign?" And so Farage is then prompted to respond, and he clarifies, "Whilst Andrew Bailey and I have our disagreements, I would never take it this far." No, you just hold a fucking national address and incite somebody else to do it, wouldn't you? You don't need to take it that far, Nige. Or you get Fleet Street to run 12 sequential days coverage about the time you had a little bit of trouble at the bank. So in some of them, he's holding a gun. Don't know if you've seen the images. Others, he's just going nuts at him, like shouting, and there's sort of police kind of dragging him back. And of course, they're all over question time. Social media, not question time. And they've been shared and they've been seen by millions, and smart people would probably evaluate these images and conclude that they're rubbish. But I think we've established by now that those who are drawn to Faragian content rarely appear in the nominations for the Critical Thinker of the Year awards. So it's entirely possible that they've been hoodwinked in and dragged into some sort of scam. I don't think we can rule that out at all. Who's behind them? No idea. No idea. But City AM also noticed that they all link off to this crypto investment opportunity. So in some ways, I don't know, like just in the round, in some ways I understand Farage's concerns at being misrepresented and deep faked and all of that. This is a topic that I've been warning about for maybe 6 years now, about the impending doom of deep fakery and what threats that's going to present and how easily dismissible true events will be when deep fakes are indistinguishable. So I understand Farage's concerns at being deep faked. And when he comes out and says, whilst Andrew Bailey and I have our disagreements, I would never take it that far. He says, I've escalated it to the highest levels of ex-moderation. I can't even say ex-moderation with a straight face. But in other ways, I'm a little bit more like, hang about. Hang about, Nige. Hang about. Like, Nigel Farage is a crypto-bought shill who fucking lies for a living himself. Ultimately, to do the bidding of his crypto lobby paymasters. That is what he does. It's who he is now. He lies about foreigners, about debanking, the Bank of England. He rage baits, ultimately to benefit and to enrich the Thai crypto guy. He's on the bankroll of the Thai crypto guy. These guys, whoever they are that are behind this, are posting lies also to enrich a crypto guy. So when Nige is like, well, we've escalated this to the highest levels of ex-moderation, I'm a little bit like, why? What is it that you disagree with here? Is there something wrong with that setup, with that dynamic? Lying to bank Bitcoin? Is that what you got a problem with, Nige? Is it? I mean, to my mind, and to any sane mind, you should be at the conclusion of saying, like, the only difference between what they're doing and what you're doing, Mr. Farage, is that the content they're putting out has slightly fewer pixels and maybe a different cryptocurrency attached. But that's pretty much it. It's rage baits. Where's the crypto profit? Bring me the crypto. Bring me the Ethereum. Bring me the Bitcoin. Rage bait, rage bait, rage bait. Where's the crypto? Where's the crypto? Where's the crypto? Like, if they do get these things taken down, I reckon whoever's behind it should notice, they should observe the similarities between them and Nigel Farage also. I think whoever's behind it should do a Nige on them. You know? Whoever's behind it, they get reported, they get identified, they track down who it is, they get their account wiped. And then I think they should do a massive press conference about getting debanked. De-X'd. We got deplatformed. We got silenced by big tech for our political beliefs, they should say. And 9 days of coverage, guaranteed. You could say it's free speech, can't you? You could do a national address. You have the whole of Fleet Street running to you, ready to lap it all up like dead-eyed porn stars, braced for a glazed tongue. Tell us how they cancelled you. Yum, 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 yum. I mean, it might sound like I'm taking the piss, but I actually found the whole thing quite inspiring. Which is why I've knocked up these AI images of me to lure you guys all into dropping £5 super chats for me tonight. My very own crypto scam of sorts. You know, maybe we'll post this on X and have it unmoderated. Aid didn't have to take it this far. You can click through to find out what happened next and drop a £5 super chat in the tip cup on here. Buy AidCoin, which is an FCA unregulated crypto coin, a bit like the Unite the Kingdom coin, but less reputable than that even. Designed to bring the nation's few remaining logicians together with this commemorative, celebratory crypto NFT token asset, or whatever. Bringing the people of the Booge together collectively with our aid coin, or Unite the Mandem, maybe is what we'll call it. The Unite the Mandem coin. Yours today, yours tonight, for only £5 super chat. Okay. I got a couple of super chats there. Paul Webster says, what do you think to Tommy 10 names being spotted in Moscow with Errol Musk a couple of days ago, same day as the Belfast riot? Do you know what, Paul? I did a video about it on the day that it happened. I was like, is he actually in Moscow? Like, has he run away to Moscow? Because it seemed so far-fetched. I was like, I mean, this is really what it comes down to, Paul, is like, I was like, it's going to raise some eyebrows, the fact that he's flown off to Moscow. And it's going to raise more eyebrows, the fact that he sat there with Elon Musk's dad, who has been accused of child sex abuse. And when you put those two together, and the fact that Tommy's supposed to be like protecting our women and kids, and he's in Russia, and he's already like, there's questions about like, what is the relationship between his movement and Russia? How boosted is it? You know, like basically what I'm getting at is like, in order for it to be worth your while arousing that suspicion of you going to Russia, there actually has to be some connection there. It would have to be worth your while for you to be in Russia. Like, why not meet him in San Francisco? Why not meet him when you were over at Congress? Or couldn't he fly to London, sort of thing? There has to be some reason why it would be worth his while to do that in Russia, in a sanctioned country, an adversarial country at a time of war. Rant over. Okay, all right. It is time once again, guys. You will be thrilled to hear. Contain your excitement. Leave you with a bit of suspense there while I have a sip of beer. It's time, as is tradition, to dish out the much coveted, oft loveted, is that a word? No, not really. Tap Dancing Tosser Award, guys. Well, that's absolutely pathetic. Okay, so this week, a couple of nominations. We could have given it to these guys. Hiring a big red bus for £900 to day trip them to Parliament. Could have given it to them, definitely. I saw this. I mean, they've clearly set up the camera there to film themselves coming off the fucking private hire red bus, taking them just to outside Parliament Square there. I saw this. I was like... You know, there's actual red London buses that would have taken you there for £4. Would have literally dropped you off there for £4 on your oyster. So I could have given it to them, but no, they're just a nominee this week. We could have had young Bob, couldn't we? Whose own riot footage in Southampton that he filmed on his little selfie stick thing. Was used this week to send 3 of his cohorts to prison for 2 years each. But we already gave him the Tap Dancing Tosser Award 10 days ago, before it actually happened, because we are prescient as fuck on this channel. Saw it coming. So we did. That's what you get for your crypto tips, by the way, on this. Your super chat tips. You get fucking Mystic Meg up in this bitch. That's what you get. Politics' Mystic Meg. Cross my palm with silver, and I shall read your dystopian tarot or something. But no, this week, guys, It's not going to young Bob. It's not going to the English lads who hired the private rental red bus that they could have got for just £4. This week we go to celebrity rapist defender Beverly Turner on GB News, who took a break from dismissing the rape allegations of Russell Brand and Donald Trump and trivialising the climate crisis as mere alarmism to pretend that far-right race riots weren't happening in Belfast. This is truly don't look up territory. Take it away, Bev.
To pretend there isn't such a thing as far right, or that they're just a few isolated middle-aged men in their bedrooms, is absurd.
It's not pretending, but it's not pretending that those people aren't deluded and hate-filled. They exist, but to suggest that these skirmishes that we've seen in Belfast tonight, because they weren't riots. There weren't people marauding through the streets with pitchforks.
There was a house set on fire, Beverly.
We saw people take to the streets, going house by house.
I mean, imagine masked thugs coming to your door in the middle of the night.
We've seen numerous pictures of fires ablaze in Belfast. This is disgraceful, violent behaviour.
And what you have just done is precisely the rage baiting that I am trying to do the opposite of.
What are you talking about?
You are saying, but people's houses are burned down. This is awful, this is awful. I'm saying, actually, it isn't that dramatic. There aren't bodies piled up in hospital
Someone's
tonight,
house
Matthew.
being burnt down in a riot is not that dramatic. What are you saying, Bev? What words are you allowing out of your mouth?
There was no riot. There was no riot.
Hey, one more.
There is not a house that has been burnt down.
I only got 3 things from the house, and the only thing I did not get from the house were the letters my children wrote for me, because that is all I have from my children.
There is not a house that has been burnt down.
And the only thing I did not get.
There was no riot.
From the house were the letters my children wrote for me.
There are no riots. The police aren't even reporting riots.
Did you not see the image of a house on fire?
We've seen my show. I'm talking.
I mean, what do you even say to that? What can you say about that to a woman who has presumably seen footage of that woman or people like that? And look, I'm just going to hold my hands up, right? When I was preparing that clip earlier, lunchtime today, sort of putting that little bit together, I sat through that interview with that woman and I could feel the fucking tear ducts like welling up. I could feel my face getting like, you know, when you just sort of get shaky, and it's sort of difficult to talk about on a podcast like this because we take the piss so much. It's a satirical podcast. 90% of this show is supposed to be outright, you know, piss takery. It's very rare that I go like super turbo earnest. Frankly, I think that there's people who do that significantly better than I do. Also, I've been cursed with an incredibly sarcastic voice. But when I saw that interview with that woman, I was like moved doesn't cover it. It's fucking disgusting what she's gone through. So what do you say to a woman like Beverly Turner who must have seen that footage? Either that or she's not a journalist. Take your fucking pick. Must have seen footage like that. And if not that woman, then a woman in a very similar situation, or a family in a very similar situation. Evacuated for race reasons. Home burnt out. Loses the items that are most precious to her. She's in tears. She's obviously fucking distraught. Traumatized. Letters from her children. Crying. Riot footage. Proof. Not deep fakes. Actual things that have happened. Gangs patrolling the streets. And you say there were no riots. And actually anyone who talks about the riots is rage baiting? They're the rage baiting ones, are they? Fuck you, Beverly Turner. Fuck you. She's such a fucking twat. And we've talked about it before, haven't we? On this show. About how she used to be this sort of, feminist, LBC, centre-left presenter, and now she's either completely gone on the Kool-Aid, or at best, the most generous interpretation for what or who she is these days is that she's calculated that it is more profitable if she takes the alt-right, right-wing think tank money. Big Money Bev is who she's become. With her corner office overlooking the civil unrest that she herself refuses to see. Like, it's either that she's cynical or she's totally brain dead. I don't know which one of those you want to pick, Beverly. The choice is fucking yours. Like, stop calling it far right. Stop calling everything far right. This isn't far right, Aid. It's on the west. It's to the west. That's left, sort of. It's nowhere near the right. Anyway, just quickly to round this off. Obviously, she's caught some flack for this, and a friend of the show, Narinder Kaur, shared it about saying, as I have many times now, she used to be sane. Beverly Turner used to be sane. What the fuck happened to her? Look, I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but it was basically, that was the point. She used to be all right. What happened to her? She started off like George Michael, ended up like Georgia Maloney. Does that work? The two, the left and the right? No, not really, Aid. Okay. But Narinder shared about this clip, as did the gentleman in the clip, Matthew Stadlen, I think is his name. And Narinder gave her some criticism. And then Bev texts her privately. Instead of self-appraisal, by the way, instead of reflection, just remember that. This is what she's doing instead of reflecting. Instead of holding your hands up and going, okay, all right, you got me, mate. Maybe there were some riots. Maybe it was a bit dramatic, actually, on reflection. Maybe, from my Big Money Bev job over here in DC, maybe I wasn't as close to the action. I wasn't as in tune with how fucking fashy it's all getting over there. Soz. Instead of that, she could have done that, but instead of that, she sends this privately to Narinder. She says, Narinder, think harder. The cattiness already. I'm here for the cattiness. Just to getting straight in there. Narinder, think harder, love. Is Narinder watching this tonight? Sometimes I know she's seen the podcast before, but if she is watching, jump in the chat, Narinder. Let me know. Narinder, think harder. This frenzy about Belfast is designed to nudge us into panic. There you go. Lady whose house burnt down. Letters from your kids. Now ash on the floor. Bev says chill out. Don't get all hysterical, lady. It's just PR. Nudging you gently into panicking. Were you panicked? Were you? Okay. Did they nudge you gently, move you into a state of mild concern while the flames engulfed your heirlooms? Okay. So, Narinder, think harder. The panic is supposed to nudge us in... the news is supposed to nudge us into a state of panic so they can clamp down on free speech, she says. It's all a conspiracy. That's what I was getting at with Matt Stadlen, the other guy. Fine. But that's not what you said, Bev. You said there were no riots. You said there were no gangs of people like marauding the streets. You said there weren't houses being burnt down. It's not what you were getting into at all, is it, Bev? But maybe if there were no riots, maybe there was you getting into it in your nutty fucking conspiracy world. Oh, yes, she says, my advice would be... Oh, well, this will be good. Beverly Turner's giving out advice now after making up all that rubbish. My advice would be, Narinder, okay? Just settle down, love, all right? Listen, take some advice from me, Beverly Turner. My advice would be that you get a proper job. The sass! The cheek of it! Oh, my goodness. Like Beverly Turner's proper job. Okay. Cool. If only I could be like Beverly Turner. My advice would be that you get a proper job. One that does not rely on you trying to foment hate and division. Just a friendly reminder, guys. I know, like, viewers, watchers, subscribers, Patreons, you won't need to be reminded of this, but we're picking up new viewers and listeners and all that all the time. So just on the off chance you're not aware of this, your reminder that GB News, Bev's channel, was found by the Centre for Media Monitoring to be responsible for 50% of all the UK stories about Muslims. One channel. GB News just funneling out hate and division. 50% of all British stories about Muslims came from GB News. Paul Marshall, the guy that set them up, was exposed as having a secret, like, Telegram account. And a secret Twitter account sharing, like, rage bait and race war shit. I think you should get a proper job, one that doesn't rely on you fomenting hate and division, says Beverly Turner. Oh, yeah, and the Muslim Council of Britain also said about, 50% of it, they backed up the study or advocated for it or something. She says, so get a proper job, one that doesn't rely on fomenting hate and division. She says it can't be much fun sitting and watching social media to see what might get you a hit on a news channel. Ooh. Casting aspersions. Oh, that Narinder. I bet she's just sat there all day. Just, what's the social media story today? Oh, here's some rage bait. Oh, I'll jump straight on that. That's what Beverly Turner thinks Narinder is doing. Just this cliche, caricature. She's dreamt up in her fucking mind again. Big Money Bev getting the claws out here. Can't be much fun sitting and watching social media to see what might get you a hit on a news channel. She closes out, she says, be well. I wish you nothing but good luck and good fortune. Which is nice. It's nice, isn't it? I think. It's nice that she signed that off so courteously. I know I was talking rubbish and trivialising a race war and muting a mother's broken heart because I find conspiracy theories about the deep state and control more flap-tingling. And then I talked more shit when I was called out for it, pretending that I was getting into government control rather than just flat out denying that the thing happened. And then I reduced you, Narinder, to a caricature of yourself that I had imagined in my fucking head. And then I mocked you for that version of you that I dreamt up that doesn't actually exist. But please have a good day. Be well. I want nothing but good things for you. I wish you nothing but good fortune and good luck, or whatever it was. I want nothing but good things for you, starting now. Now I've got all the shittiness out of the way. You're a bitch. I hate you. You're talking shit. You're a loser. But have a great weekend. Love you. Go, go, gadget. Nice lady Forcefield. Says Beverly Turner. Fuck off, Beverly Turner. You are this week's tap dancing tosser.
Well,
that's absolutely pathetic. Okay. How are we doing in the live chat? We've got Diz, we've got Gordy, we've got Tommy, we've got Andrew 2067. We've got Tim Jones. What's going on, guys? Are we all right? We hanging in there? You still with me? Good. Any super chats I need to look out? Paul Webster's gifted 5 gift membership things, which I gathered. I looked into this the other day. YouTube distribute it for me. So if you buy like 5 memberships and say I'd like to gift these to people, then it enriches like 5 of my most frequent viewers with a membership, thanks to Paul. So if you just got one of those, say thank you to Paul in the live chat. What a legend. Okay, time for a weird news story, isn't it? Should we get into a weird news story? We've got 10 minutes left. Unless there's any other, I don't think there's any other super chats that we need to look at. Any other investors in the Unite the Mandem coin, for which there will be absolutely no returns, refunds, just rug pulls. Coin sales facilitated by Pyramid Capital, guys. Okay, so weird news story. In our last 10 minutes, a happy story, an uplifting story to round us off with, as is tradition. Race riots and displacement, Bev Turner and bigotry towards the gays. All of that, let's just sweep that aside. Let's lighten the mood like Jimmy Carr in Riot. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, guys, viewers, listeners, people of the booge. So this is a story from the goddamn Islander News Network. It's written by a guy called Jay Wagmeister. Jay Wagmeister. I mean, that sounds made up, doesn't it? But okay, fine. Jay Wagmeister. It sounds a bit made up, I think. Sounds like the sort of name that you would like make up for yourself if you went undercover with no training. You know? And like the suspect that you've been trailing or embedded with in the terrorist group or whatever, would be like, yeah, well, what did you say your name was again? Jay Wagmeister? Right, okay. Well, sounds legitimate. Jay Wagmeister. Jay brings us this scoop. Fort Myers man sues after AI facial recognition leads to wrongful arrest, guys. AI facial recognition leads to wrongful arrest. I mean, this is the risk, isn't it? With AI. This is the risk. Like, what if a computer matches your face? Or like ear shape, sometimes they do it with, don't they? Your ear shape and height and nose type, or whatever. With some fucking guy who did something really illegal, like engaged in sodomy one afternoon. I mean, like, what if you match just enough with AI face scanning shit? What if the AI incorrectly says that you've been bumming people? Guys, I mean, would your wife even believe you? Would she believe you? Or she always had, I don't know if he's totally straight. He says he's totally, like, you know, this is becoming the Pride edition. It's a Pride special. But would your wife believe you if the police called up and said the AI has matched him? Facial recognition, love. Your husband was definitely there this weekend in March, or, you know? Would your wife believe you? It'd be like the sort of, you know, Jeremy Kyle show, a modern Jeremy Kyle show, but hosted by Sam Altman. Wouldn't it? Sam Altman takes your exhausted wife over to the side, sits her down on the sofa. Come here, darling. He says he didn't commit sodomy. He says he didn't bum anyone. The lie detector, however... Well, sorry, the face-matching AI software, unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you this, sweetheart, says that he did. I'm sorry that he lied to us all. And she stands up. You bastard! You'd be like, I don't know, like, I know it looks like my face. But I've never been to Ghana. I've never been to Saudi Arabia. What the fuck? You'd start second guessing yourself. You'd be like, what kind of like fucking, dual personality like shit am I dealing with here? What kind of Fight Club situation is this? You liar! Anyway, it says, a Fort Myers man and the ACLU of Florida are suing Jacksonville Beach for relying too heavily on an artificial intelligence program that had him as a suspect in a now dropped 2023 child luring investigation. Wow. Jesus, I mean, if there's one thing you don't want to even accidentally get accused of in a glitch, child luring. The ACLU said in a 66-page federal lawsuit that Robert Dillon, presumably not the Bob Dylan, Robert Dillon had been arrested for a crime he never committed in a city he had never been to. There you go. Bob Dylan filed suit against the police and the sheriff's office Wednesday in a case centering around what the ACLU calls a faulty facial recognition match in 2023 and an arrest 8 months later. The now dropped charges claim that Dillon, a commercial crabber from Fort Myers, tried to lure a child at a McDonald's in Jacksonville Beach, 5 hours from his home. And I haven't got the photograph here to show you, but they do, like, the face that they've matched him with, it kind of looks like him. It does look like him. You can see how it's matched. I mean, what a way to meet your doppelganger. What a way to find out that you've got a doppelganger out there. Sort of. Like, everybody always likes to imagine that their doppelganger will be, someone that lives, let's say, 100 miles away, but that you look eerily similar. But maybe you work in IT and he works in PR or healthcare or something. But how bummed would you be if you finally met your doppelganger, like through AI or otherwise, and then the guy turned out to be a fucking child molester? You'd be like, fuck. Shit! This is my doppelganger. This is who I'm twinned with. It's basically, okay. Cool. You'd feel like, wouldn't you feel like you'd sort of bought a ticket to see a shit movie about yourself? But it's like, it's like a me if I had bad wiring and a traumatic childhood and I went down a way darker road. Like, I don't want to fucking see this. Who the fuck is this guy? How bummed would you be? I mean, not as in illegal bumming in Saudi Arabia bummed. I just mean, bummed out. He says, the night I spent in jail after they arrested me for a crime I did not commit still haunts me to this day. I will never get over how terrified and worried I was, wondering if I would ever go home to my wife and daughter again, Dillon said in a statement. His attorneys explained that law enforcement put security camera footage into facial recognition technology operated by the sheriff's office, comparing the image to millions of photos in a database to find matches. It returned a 93% match to the image of Robert Dillon. Do you think the cops do it to themselves? Do you think they, for a goof? Like, what's your match? What's your highest match, Hank? Who do you match with? Like, even if it's only like, 32% or whatever. I bet they get hammered at the Christmas party and they put their own faces through it. Like, I would put my own face through it just for a laugh. Drunk cops at the Christmas party like, hey, Buck, come and look at this. Harry's face here is a 50% match with a fentanyl trafficker wanted in 5 states for drug trafficking, kidnap, and sodomy. Is that okay? Is sodomy illegal in the United States? It was before 2003. Oh, okay. When we decriminalized it. Right. Okay. But the warrant itself is still live. Cool. Okay. I bet they do that. I would do that if I was a cop. A bored sheriff at the Christmas party. Okay, let's wind this down, guys. Let's wind this down. Tuck yourself in, get yourself ready and comfortable for my sort of Jerry Springer-esque final thought. We inhabit a world of confusion and lies. Of course we do. Where presidents are stuck in a loop of blocked seas and then ceasefires, deaths and then deals. Where riots both happen and don't happen. Houses are burnt down in Belfast, and I can imagine it's only the international arrest warrants that stop Benji from rebuilding them. Where corporate pride sponsors are simultaneously proud of inclusivity, but happy to set up investment offices in Ghana and Saudi Arabia. But try and forget all of that tonight, and as we wind this down, focus on just enjoying your weekend. Look forward to the World Cup, cook some food, fuck your wife. Enjoy whatever distractions you can. Bury your heads in the sand. And join me as I patiently wait for Ofcom to take Bev Turner off the air and render her jobless, laughed out of consideration for any serious TV presentation gigs, and for her to become a figure of comedic reference for when Don't Look Up seems too on the nose. Hashtag be kind. I wish you nothing but good fortune, Bev. Right, that's it for this one. Patreon meetup next weekend, Saturday, June the 20th. It's only a week away. You can get onto the Patreon or you can join the channel right now on YouTube and you can still get the invite. Come join us in Liverpool. Next Saturday, we're in the Baltic Triangle area. But you'll get the specifics if you join or sign up and so on. That will unlock it. Unlock the premium benefits. I'm supposed to upsell all of this shit, right? Also, do consider, if you are in a position to drop a super thanks tip in the tip cup if you are enjoying the content. Do share me about among your friends and family, like the gaping, welcoming harlot that I am. And if you're not sticking around for the Q&A now, the lock-in session, well, then be gone, foul vagrant. I'll see you next time. Right, time for the Q&A. Let's break this down, guys. Where's my